I organize specifically in the small area of it's a Merced County. Um, and I wanted to, more than anything, I'm coming in to share the story of one of the residents that I've had the opportunity to work alongside with and help out. Um, she wants her name to remain anonymous because she is an undocumented um, farm worker. And she's the mother of two smaller children, also a wife. And earlier in the pandemic, what her situation was that she lives with her husband and rents a small trailer home. Um, and when the pandemic first hit, her husband was employed through the landlord that owned the property there. And he was a dairy worker. So, because he worked for the landlord, his check and, or I'm sorry, his rent and utilities were paid through kind of like the work that he did. And she was a seasonal farm worker. Every time when the season would start, she would move, usually go further down south, and she would take her children with her. She would rent a room out there. That's what she would do because there are certain programs that, as an undocumented individual, even though it is for farm workers that it is available to, it's not for undocumented folks. So she kind of would have to network and figure out where she would be renting a room from. So when the pandemic first hit, she was impacted through, as a farm worker, the hours or the season started in a little later. Um, and and they were also low wage earners. When all of this happened, the landlord then decided to sell everything, and so it changed. Everything changed ownership, and they were told that they had 2 months to find a new location. So immediately when that happened, they like realized that the prices of rent, so I forgot to mention they lived in an unincorporated area of the county. So as they looked and tried to look for housing elsewhere, they realized that the income that they were currently making was not affordable. Like they could not afford to move anywhere else. So that's when they first reached out to Faith in the Valley to see how we can support. Um, I myself tried to connect them with legal resources. Um, and fortunately, the situation, it was able to work out for them where they had to directly speak with the new landlord. Um, but these stories are so common in the Central Valley. Hers is just one of many. And situations like this, especially for undocumented workers, um, they're a little bit hard because there are so many resources that are available, but so many that they are not able to apply for. Um, so we actually started to advocate locally in Merced County for a rent, mortgage, and utilities program too. And along with other folks, other partners in the community here, we were able to, it started since way back early in the pandemic that we started to advocate for something that was also accessible to undocumented people. So luckily, but just as of last month, there was a rent, mortgage, and utilities assistance program that passed through the county. And so we're hoping that this would be some sort of a alleviation, for now, for people. But we know that we have yet to prepare for what's to come, as the evictions again will be, we're gonna see a wave of evictions happen.